If you're a corporate leader that has some corporate experience that you think might really be beneficial in a consulting realm, and you're not sure which one you should really focus on first when you think about transitioning out of corporate America into your own business, I'm going to answer that for you right here, right now. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time certified 7-figure life and business coach, CEO, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things. And I got this question actually in my certification program. So one of my students in my CLS Certification and Marketing Program, who we are helping to not only certify as an accredited life coach, but also launch her business and set up her website and get her packages together and all of these things, she asked me on one of our coaching calls, should she focus on consulting or should she really go all in coaching? And she asked this because she came from a corporate background. She understands that in corporate America, there's often budgets set aside for different consultants to come in and do different things. And to be honest, those budgets can be pretty hefty, right? And so this idea of like, wow, I can get a $30,000 check, a $50,000 check, maybe even a $100,000 check just from doing some consulting work. Are you sure, Courtney, that I should be focusing on coaching? And so I did answer it in our coaching call, but I wanted to use that question as discussion for today's video because I know this might be a question that you might have. So if you're a corporate leader that has some corporate experience that you think might really be beneficial in a consulting realm, and you're not sure which one you should really focus on first when you think about transitioning out of corporate America into your own business, I'm going to answer that for you right here, right now. All right. In short, my answer is yes, meaning you can do both. Yes, you can do coaching and you can do consulting. That said, though, I typically recommend coaching first. So I know you'll talk to different people and, everybody has, their particular opinion or the different pathway that they particularly chose. But I really like coaching because I find that it's a lot easier to start to get sales, to land clients, and to get that work under your belt. What people fail to realize, even though these consulting checks can be very large, is that what is also large is the sales cycle. Right? So if you are running a coaching program and you want to start enrolling clients, you can go out and get clients tomorrow. You can have conversations with people in real life at different events. You can find clients on social media. It's not this big decision in order to get someone to join you. However, when it comes to these large consulting projects, oftentimes they're decided by committee. They have to review the budget. Is this someone that we want to work with? Is it not? Okay, do we have budget cuts? Oh, we have to wait until our fiscal year ends and then, it comes up again. Oh, but just kidding. The person that was advocating for you on the inside just quit and transitioned to a different company. And now you have to start the process all over again. These corporate sales cycle can be very long. 6 months is actually fast, right? I know people who, yes, have landed large corporate consulting contracts, but it's taken them up to 2 years of networking and really beating down the doors in order to get that. Another thing that you often don't realize is a lot of companies are going to look at your past performance, especially if you are doing different contracts like for the government or any type of entity that has a formal procurement process. They're going to want to see that you have some experience in a business context under your belt. So yes, you might say, hey, I think I can be a consultant because I've been doing this, in my corporate job. What is it for me to just strike out there and go ahead and be a consultant? Sure, you could do that. But again, the legwork oftentimes in order to get those consulting gigs coming in the door can be very long, and they are going to be looking for your past performance. Have you done this in a consulting context? Where with coaching, people just want to know, do you know how to coach, right? Are you a certified coach and can you help me? And again, it's a lot easier to get in the door. Another great thing is once you start to get different experience in coaching under your belt, you can use that as the past performance that you then parlay into consulting. And I say this because, hint, hint, that is the pathway that I have taken. So when I first started my business, I was exclusively focused on coaching one-on-one and then in groups, and then coaching others in a corporate context, which now has opened the doors for me to get more consulting projects. So I find that getting coaching under your belt really helps you become a bona fide entrepreneur, really in the training and development space. And again, it's a lot easier to get those clients. Now, another reason that I strongly recommend that people start with coaching first is because if you can coach, you can consult But if you can consult, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can coach, right? Yes. So coaching is its own discipline. It's not just giving advice. It's not just telling people what to do. It is really an art and science of helping your client arrive at the best decision for themselves. So you're really guiding them to come up with the answers on their own. That requires an ability to ask thoughtful questions, to navigate the process, to really structure the environment so that the client can have those insights. It takes skill to be able to trigger those insights. If you're a consultant, you're really just coming in and just saying what you think, things should be. This is your advice, you're in and you're out. So I find that consulting, while it can be a very lucrative skill set, it's not as rare as the skill set of coaching. And oftentimes companies that are willing to put out big budgets for consultants will also then put out big budgets for coaches to continue to coach their constituents, whether that be their employees or whoever it is that they are looking for you to coach long term. And so I find that if you are coaching and you have that coaching certification, you can really pair both a coaching and a consulting gig together for even more revenue, right? So yes, it looks attractive to say, oh, I want to go after this consulting gig because that's a $30,000 contract or a $50,000 contract. Well, what about a 2-year, let's say $500,000 contract where yes, you're going to do some consulting up front, but the real revenue is coming on the back end because you are going to be providing coaching long term, say to a leadership team or executive team or even new hires or emerging leaders or whatever type of coaching that it is that you do. So again, if you're consulting, it doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to coach, but if you know how to coach, it's much easier to then learn how to consult. All right, so if you're a corporate leader who is thinking about whether you should do coaching or consulting, I hope this really answered that conundrum for you. And if you're like, okay, I was already leaning towards coaching, but I really want to do this, I got to get certified, I got to figure out my methodology, and I got to get clients, I invite you to join me in my CLS Coaching Certification and Marketing Program. So yes, CLS stands for my initials, but it really stands for Coach of Life Success, which is the accredited designation that you will walk away with. Yes, my program is not just a certification program, but it's an accredited certification program. Once you get certified in 90 days or less, we then move you to the marketing program where we show you how to find clients, how to launch your business, how to launch your brand, set up your website, all the back-end things that you need to do in order to run a successful coaching business. It's really a business in a box. We not only show you how to do it, but we have a dedicated team to help you do this, right? We even have a tech team that can support you on all the tech back-end. So, these automations and how do I set up my landing page and email automations, all of that, everything is included in the program. So if you want a one-stop shop to going from having no coaching business and maybe even working a full-time job to leaving and being able to transition into your own lucrative, successful coaching business, I invite you to apply. You can click the link below to learn all about it. And if interested, you can go ahead and apply. And if accepted, you'll be invited to an enrollment call with my team of enrollment coordinators who will walk you through the entire process. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next YouTube video, make sure you're subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, you can go ahead and send me a connection request on LinkedIn, or you can send me a DM or just follow me on Instagram. I'm active on both platforms. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.